Every August, the same thing happens to millions of American lawns. The grass goes yellow. Not brown, yellow. A specific, washed-out pale yellow-green that no amount of watering seems to fix. You run the sprinklers longer. You water more frequently. The yellow stays. So you reach for the fertilizer bag. You apply it. The grass surges green for about 10 days. Then the yellow comes back. And you assume it is the heat. You assume it is the drought. You assume it is just what grass does in August. And there is nothing to be done about it. You are wrong. And the reason you are wrong is not your fault. The yellowing you are seeing every August is not drought stress. It is not heat damage. It is iron chlorosis, a specific, diagnosable, completely reversible nutrient condition that has nothing to do with how much you water and everything to do with what is happening in your soil chemistry right now, today, underneath every blade of grass on your property. And the fix costs $4. Applied once, in about 20 minutes. Stay with me because I am going to show you the exact mechanism, the exact product, and the exact application window that locks the color in for weeks, and why the fertilizer industry has spent 70 years making sure this information never made it onto the bag. Here is the thing about iron chlorosis that the lawn care retail industry understood very early and very quietly decided not to talk about. It is cheap to fix, not cheap as in affordable, cheap as in practically free. A single bag of ferrous sulfate, the direct treatment for iron chlorosis, costs between $12 and $18 at any agricultural supply store and treats a quarter-acre lawn approximately 8 to 10 times. That works out to roughly $1.50 to $2 per application. One application lasts 3 to 4 weeks. You do the math on what that does to the annual revenue model of a company selling you a 4-step nitrogen program at $180 a season. The 4-step program works the way it works, 4 applications every 6 weeks, season after season, because soluble nitrogen fertilizer does not fix the underlying problem your lawn has. It addresses the visible output, the color and growth rate of the grass blade, while leaving the soil chemistry that is causing the yellowing completely untouched. In August, when soil temperatures peak and soil pH in most American lawns drifts upward due to summer heat and reduced biological activity, iron in your soil gets locked into a chemical form that grass roots cannot absorb. The iron is physically present in your soil. Most American soils have plenty of it, but at a pH above 7.0, which is where most residential lawns drift in late summer, iron converts from a soluble plant, available form into an insoluble compound called iron oxide. Rust, essentially. It is right there in the ground. The grass cannot touch it. When you apply nitrogen to a lawn suffering from iron chlorosis, you force a flush of new leaf growth. All that new tissue needs iron too. So now you have spread the same limited available iron across a larger volume of plant material. The chlorosis gets worse, the grass gets paler. You apply more nitrogen. The cycle repeats. You were sold the problem and the symptom in the same bag. Iron has been understood as a critical plant nutrient since the mid-1800s. The German botanist Julius von Sachs documented iron deficiency in plants in 1860, one of the earliest systematic studies of plant mineral nutrition ever conducted. The visual symptoms he described, yellowing between the leaf veins while the veins themselves remain green, are the same symptoms you're looking at on your lawn every August. That was 165 years ago. For the first half of the 20th century, iron was a standard tool in the professional groundskeeper's kit. Estate managers, golf course superintendents, and university turf programs applied iron routinely as a color management and soil chemistry correction tool. The 1940 edition of the United States Golf Association's Greenkeeping Manual dedicates an entire section to ferrous sulfate application protocols, including specific rates, timing windows, and soil temperature thresholds. It was not a secret. It was standard practice. Then, the post-war synthetic fertilizer industry restructured the entire lawn care conversation around nitrogen. Nitrogen was what they had. Nitrogen was what the converted bomb-making plants produced. Nitrogen was what got packaged, branded, and sold through the retail distribution network that the industry built from 1945 onward. Iron does not fit that model. You cannot put it on a feeding calendar. You cannot engineer dependency on it. One $15 bag of ferrous sulfate lasts a homeowner 2 to 3 years. There is no recurring revenue, No seasonal repurchase, no reason to put it on the shelf next to the four-step program. So it quietly disappeared from the mainstream lawn care conversation. Not because it stopped working, because it works too well, too cheaply, too permanently, to generate the kind of revenue that keeps the industry running. The 1940 USGA Greenkeeping Manual is still available in agricultural library archives. The protocol it describes still works exactly as written. It just never made it onto the bag at your local hardware store. Here's the biology, because once you understand the mechanism, you will never misread your lawn's symptoms again. Color in a grass plant comes from chlorophyll. That is the green pigment inside every blade. And here is the part that changes everything. The chlorophyll molecule itself contains 0 iron, not a single atom. But the grass plant cannot build chlorophyll without iron. Iron is the cofactor, the essential catalyst, that runs the cellular assembly line that produces chlorophyll. Without adequate available iron, the assembly line slows. Chlorophyll production drops. The grass blade loses color from the inside out, starting with the tissue between the leaf veins, which is the newest and most actively growing tissue, while the veins themselves, which contain older established chlorophyll, stay green longer. That specific pattern, yellow tissue between green veins, is called intervenal chlorosis. It is the fingerprint of iron deficiency. Once you know what it looks like, you can diagnose it from 10 feet away. It looks different from drought stress, which produces an overall blue-gray cast across the entire blade. It looks different from nitrogen deficiency, which produces a uniform pale green starting from the oldest leaves rather than the newest growth. Intervenal chlorosis is specific, directional, and unmistakable once you have seen it. Now, here is the critical soil chemistry piece. Your soil almost certainly already contains iron. The issue is not quantity. The issue is availability. Iron exists in soil in two primary forms: ferrous iron, which is soluble and plant available, and ferric iron, which is insoluble and locked out of plant uptake. The conversion between these two forms is controlled almost entirely by soil pH. At a pH of 6.5, which is the ideal range for most cool-season grasses, approximately 40% of the iron in your soil exists in the plant-available ferrous form. At a pH of 7.0, that drops to under 10%. At a pH of 7.5, which is where many American lawns sit in August after a summer of heat and surface evaporation concentrating soil minerals, available iron approaches 0. The iron is there. The grass cannot reach it. And no amount of nitrogen fixes a pH problem. Here is something that makes this even more specific to August. Soil pH in residential lawns is not static. It shifts seasonally. In spring, when soil biological activity is high and organic acids produced by microbial metabolism are abundant, pH tends to drift slightly downward toward the ideal range. As summer heat reduces microbial activity and evaporation concentrates alkaline minerals in the upper soil profile, pH drifts upward. The drift is typically between 0.3 and 0.7 pH units from spring baseline to late summer peak. That drift is often exactly enough to push a lawn from marginal iron availability into full iron lockout, which is why the yellowing happens in August specifically, not in June, not in September. August, when the pH drift is at its annual peak and the heat stress on the grass plant is simultaneously at its highest. The yellowing is predictable. It is diagnosable. It is reversible. And it will happen again next August if you treat it with nitrogen instead of iron. There is one more thing that makes this worse and that almost nobody talks about. Nitrogen makes iron chlorosis worse, not better. When you apply soluble nitrogen to a lawn suffering from iron deficiency, you force rapid production of new leaf tissue. That new tissue requires iron to build chlorophyll. But the iron availability in your soil has not changed. So the plant pulls iron from its oldest leaves, which are already iron limited, to supply the new growth. The old leaves yellow further. The new growth is pale from the start. The overall color of the lawn deteriorates even as the grass visibly grows. You are accelerating the deficiency with the product sold to fix it. Here is the exact protocol. 3 products, 1 application window, under $20 total. Product 1, ferrous sulfate. This is your primary iron source. It is sold in granular or powder form at agricultural supply stores, feed stores, and online. Do not buy the branded lawn iron products at the big box retailer. You are paying for the packaging and the marketing. Straight ferrous sulfate, sometimes labeled as iron sulfate or FeSO4, costs a fraction of the price and is chemically identical to what is inside the expensive bottle. Mix rate: 2 ounces of ferrous sulfate dissolved in 1 gallon of water. That gallon covers approximately 1,000 square feet. For a quarter-acre lawn, roughly 10,000 square feet, you need 10 gallons of solution, which requires 20 ounces, just over a pound of ferrous sulfate. Do not apply it dry. Dissolved in water and applied as a foliar spray, iron is absorbed directly through the leaf blade surface, bypassing the pH-locked soil entirely. That is the mechanism. You are not trying to fix the soil chemistry with this application. You are feeding the plant directly while the soil works itself out. Product 2. A hose end sprayer. The kind that attaches to your garden hose and holds a quart of liquid concentrate. Available at any hardware store for $10 to $15. Pour your ferrous sulfate solution into the reservoir, set the dilution dial to the lowest setting. You have already mixed it to application concentration, so you want minimal further dilution, and walk the lawn at a slow, even pace. Product 3. Patience, specifically 24 to 48 hours of it. After application, do not mow. Do not water. Do not apply anything else to the lawn for at least 24 hours. The leaf blade needs time to absorb the iron through its surface cuticle. Water applied too soon washes the iron off the blade and into the pH-locked soil where the grass cannot reach it. Mowing removes the treated tissue before absorption is complete. Leave it alone. Let the leaf drink. Now here is the application window that separates a result that holds for 3 to 4 weeks from one that fades in 10 days. Temperature. Specifically, air temperature at the moment of application. The leaf cuticle, the waxy outer layer of the grass blade, becomes significantly more permeable to foliar nutrient uptake within a specific temperature range. Below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, the cuticle is essentially closed. Absorption is negligible. Above 85 degrees, the ferrous iron oxidizes on the blade surface before the plant can pull it in. You get staining but not uptake. The window is 60 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. In August, that window exists for approximately 2 to 3 hours in the early morning, typically between 6 and 9 a.m., depending on your latitude and local conditions. Apply in that window on a morning when the grass blades are still slightly damp with dew. The moisture on the blade surface acts as a carrier medium, helping the dissolved iron penetrate the cuticle faster and more completely. Spray in that window on a dewy morning at the correct dilution and leave it alone for 24 hours. Within 48 to 72 hours, the grass will shift from washed-out yellow-green to a deep saturated green that holds for 3 to 4 weeks off a single application. One warning: iron stains concrete, brick, and stone surfaces permanently rust orange. Keep the spray off your driveway, walkways, and edging. If you get overspray on hardscape, rinse it immediately with water. That is the one detail the product label actually does mention. Everything else I have told you today, it does not. A 1-pound bag of ferrous sulfate costs approximately $8 to $12 and treats a quarter-acre lawn 5 to 6 times at the protocol rate above. That is $1.50 to $2 per application. 3 to 4 weeks of deep, saturated green color per application. Total seasonal cost for color management on a standard residential lawn, under $25. A season of branded summer fertilizer for the same lawn, the product specifically marketed for summer color and heat stress, runs between $80 and $140, requires 4 to 6 applications, and does not address the iron chlorosis causing the yellowing. It manages the growth rate of pale grass. It does not fix pale grass. The math is not complicated. What is complicated is that one of these options generates recurring seasonal revenue for a $47 billion industry, and the other one does not. Guess which one made it onto the shelf? This weekend, before you reach for the fertilizer, go look at your yellowing grass up close. Look at the individual blades. If you see green veins with yellow tissue in between, that is iron chlorosis. That is not a watering problem. That is not a heat problem. That is a soil pH problem with a $2 fix. Drop your grass type and your location in the comments. Tell me what your August yellowing looks like and whether you have tried foliar iron before. I read every comment and I want to know what is actually happening in lawns across the country right now. If this gave you a diagnosis instead of just another product to buy, hit the like button. Share it with someone who has been running the same August nitrogen cycle for years and wondering why it never actually works. Subscribe for more of what the bag was designed to keep you from figuring out. Next time, the pre-emergent timing mistake that costs American homeowners millions of dollars every spring, and why the date on the calendar the industry gives you is almost always wrong for your specific soil. I'll see you in the next one.